It's been 4 months since Thomas Frank took over as Tottenham manager, and I think it's widely accepted and agreed that he's made a solid start to life with the Lily Whites. Spurs are currently sat 5th in the Premier League, unbeaten in the Champions League. He's stabilised the defence and made us competitive in every game. But despite all of those positives, many fans are quite frustrated with some of the football that's being played. Now, I personally wouldn't expect it to be scintillating after our 17th place finish last season, but I would like to see us take a few more risks in games. I'd like to see something change because it hasn't been entertaining. It hasn't. We've had good spells in games, but nothing great. We haven't played brilliantly for 90 minutes, in my opinion. Now, I've seen many people saying the way that you change this is by rotating players, but I think we're really lacking a lot of quality at the minute. You change Bentancur for Sarr, Tell for Richarlison, Odobert for Brennan Johnson. What difference does it really make? I think what Thomas Frank could do is change the formation. I believe that could change the way that we play, and here's why. Since joining Spurs, Frank has used a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3. In my opinion, neither of these formations will work as well as the Danish head coach would want them to with the players that we currently have. Once we get into more quality in attacking areas, I'm very happy for us to play either of these formations consistently, but at the moment we don't have the quality in forward areas. Now, Frank wants his teams to be defensively solid, compact in the middle, but he also wants them to be very, very creative, and in the middle of the park we're lacking anything at the moment. Simmons really struggling for confidence, Bentancur and Sarr, both of them constantly on and off. Up top, the strikers that we currently have, neither of them are reliable. The spine of the team, which is where a lot of our creativity is coming from in the 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, is really lacking quality. So that is why, for me, I changed the formation to a 3-5-2. You look at your creative play in that formation, it's coming a lot more from wide areas, which is where we're solid. Pedro Porro, naturally a wing-back. You stick him out a right wing-back where he doesn't have to worry about defensive responsibilities. Play the ball to him constantly on that right-hand side. It will be great cross into the box, great cross into the box, great cross into the box. Same with Destiny Udogie on the left-hand side. You can allow these more attacking fullbacks to not have to worry about their defensive duties, and you can create chances not from the middle of the park but from wide areas, which is where we're strong, whilst also staying defensively solid with a back three and compact in the middle with two other midfielders as well as your creative midfielder. When playing out from the back in a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, Thomas Frank likes one of his more defensive-minded midfielders to drop into the back line. This is to give us the highest probability chance of successfully playing out and not losing the ball on the edge of our own box. Now, we do this a lot, but the only problem is once we get it into the middle of the park, we find it hard to progress the ball as we're often overloaded. We only normally have 1 or 2 midfielders in there, whilst the opposition will have 3 or 4. In a 3-5-2, you can eliminate this problem. You still have the back 3 when playing out, which gives you a good chance of successfully getting out of danger. And once you get it into the midfield, it's going to be hard for the opposition to overload you, because not only do you have the 2 more defensive-minded midfielders and an attacking mid, you have the 2 fullbacks that can help out if needed as well. So you technically have 5 players in there, but at the same time, you've got 3 in a very, very small space. So it's very hard for the opposition to nick it off you. And if they do, immediately have a good attack in transition. Without the ball in this system, it's important to stay compact and narrow as possible. And if you do this, it's very, very difficult for the opposition to be able to break you down. That line of 5 in midfield will stop the opposition getting to the edge of your own box, let alone creating quality chances. I believe that the most important players in a 3-5-2 are the 3 centre-halves and the defensive midfielder. This is because the 3 centre-halves will often get pulled out of position and you need them to be athletic and quick. Thankfully, we've got one of the quickest and most athletic defenders, not just in the Premier League, but in the world right now, with Mickey van der Ven. And next to him, Romero and Danzo will be very, very hard to break down. The defensive midfield is also very important so that they can occupy those spaces in front of the back 3. And João Paulinho is very good at reading passes. And if you have 2 other midfielders in there with him and wing backs, we won't have to rely on his forward passing, which we know isn't the best. We can rely more on his tackling and interceptions, which are great. The 2 forward players in a 3-5-2 need to be good at holding the ball up and good at pressing the ball. My 2 choices would be Mohamed Kudus and Richarlison. I think Kudus is one of the best players in the team when it comes to holding the ball up. He uses his body very, very well. And when he brings it down, because he's got such a great touch, he can create good chances for himself from nothing. Richarlison's in here because we're lacking other options, but I feel like Solanke, when he comes back to full fitness, would be a great option in this formation. Just like Kudus, fantastic at holding the ball up, can drop deep as well, good presser. He does so much hard work in that team that often goes unnoticed. So that front two of Dominic, Solanke and Kudus, hopefully it's something that we see soon if we do go with this formation. Now, the formation I've raved on about in this video is 3-5-2, but I also wouldn't be opposed to a 3-4-3, a 3-4-2-1, a 3-4-1-2, a system that relies more on creating chances from wide areas than central areas. I think that's the most important thing. I think we need a back three so that we can play out the way that we want to, whilst also having a strong midfield that can progress the ball. And I feel like when we're trying to create chances in central areas at the moment, teams are staying compact and narrow and easily nullifying us. Whereas if we play it wide, the crosses that the likes of Pyro and Udoji can produce are going to be very, very difficult for opposition teams to defend. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope that you enjoyed it. Thomas Frank's doing a good job so far, and if he does stick with the 4-2-3-1 and 4-3-3, I don't think results are going to completely turn. I think those formations have worked okay, but I feel like the 3-5-2 or a back three system relying on wing backs could work brilliantly. Take care. As always, come on you Spurs.